Hello, this is Nolan, and I will be demoing the CMMC self-attestation agent and just giving a run through on this tool, how it works, and how it could be useful in different use cases. So essentially, this tool helps you fill out your CMMC level 2 paperwork. And as you can see here, it drafts the SSP and POA and M. And so the SSP will be as a docx for you to continue filling out, and then an Excel sheet for uh, actions and milestones to resolve those. Also, yeah, it calculates your SPRS score, which is what you submit in order to be level 2 certified. So you can see here that we have some examples of connectors that we either have currently implemented or are working on, and these are just start. So you can see up here some cloud connectors. So IAM, audit logs, things like that, storage. Also another tool that I built, Chainbreaker, which has our SBOM software bill of materials, and it will pipe that into this context for it to create this report. So you can see down here, there's 110 different like points to be garnered for the SPRS score, and these are made up of a variety of things that relate to security, but about 2/3 of them can be automated from, Google Cloud and GitHub, other services where that information can just be, hit via an API, which is what we do. We hit the GCP API or whatever cloud you use API with read-only access, and look at, if you're compliant with the security they want. But about 1/3 or 1/4 of these points come from things that, can't be automated. So like physical security, for example, like having a security guard, or processes that are not documented, like triaging and stuff like that. And so because of that, this will just generate the Word document and Excel sheet for the things that you select that you want it to automate. And once we have all the connectors built and set up for whatever client is using it, that could be up to 2/3 or 3/4 of the paperwork done for you. And so you can see here, when I had all of these unselected, I generated it, and it's just kind of this arbitrary 60. It's below the conditional pass threshold, which is 88. Also, we have a posture history. And so this, like, if you're running it on a regular basis, every time you need to submit the paperwork, you can create this as a like manually running process, and it just hits all the APIs, your GitHub API, your cloud API, generates this paperwork, and you just have to fill out the remaining. And for those manual attestations, there's an ability to fill those out in the document that's already created, and AI can help draft that narrative for you if you just like give some context about, we have security guards, or we don't have a physical location, or things like that. Anyway, I'll go ahead and show. So let's say we wanted to do all of these for the sake of the demo. Draft narratives with AI. Basically, this is just if you want to use AI to help the wording of the document, because if you don't use this, it'll just be very like deterministic language. So, for identity access and management, it would be like this number of users have this access. Whereas if you use AI, it will be more like human written, I guess, ironically, but it'll be like, these users have this access for, I'll just draft the narratives with AI so you can see what I'm talking about. And there's one other thing I wanted to mention. Um, hmm, it's slipping my mind for right now, so I'll just go ahead and generate these for the demo. And again, this is for CMMC level 2. Oh, that's right. So like there may be concerns about this tool sending, like how is that, what is the constraints with how the AI is seeing things. And in order to be like compliant for this CMMC level 2, you need a FedRAMP certified model to be dealing with the data. And so you know, in production, that could look like Claude on Cloud Run. Um, what is it? Claude on Vertex AI in assured workloads. That's one. Um, and there's some other various ones that um, Amazon Bedrock and AWS GovCloud, Azure OpenAI, and Azure Government. Those are other FedRAMP authorized models. Um, and like for the sake of this demo, this is just, you know, mostly fake data or simulated data. And for the real production model, it would just also be abstracted summaries being sent to those FedRAMP authorized models. And so you're not dealing with like any security risks there and exposing any PII or anything. Trying to think if there's anything else worth mentioning. Yeah, I think that's it. You can see down here, it's done generating the paperwork and it gives a 98. And you can, you know, see the history. So over time, you could track how your security posture is changing. And for the demo, we just have 22 of these that are automated and still 88 that need manual attestation. So you'll see in the document, there's a lot of blanks, but this is just, you know, for the demo. There's 2/3 to 3/4 of these can be, of these connectors can be added and completely automated. So I will show these two. So let me stop sharing so I can share those. Second. Okay. How do I collapse this? Okay. So here is the SSP it generated. And it says a doc, you know, you can also convert it to a PDF after. But you can see things like, I'll just show one example because this is, you know, a huge doc, but for access control, which is one of the things we selected, you can see here, statement limit system access to authorized users processes acting on behalf of authorized users and devices, including other systems. Implementation, the organization limits system access to authorized users, processes, and devices by utilizing GCP's identity and access management. Access is controlled through 6 distinct principles, each granted all users. The setup effectively restricts system access to those users and processes that have been explicitly authorized. So like this line, for example, would not be there without the AI selected. It would just simply say like 6 distinct roles, all users, and it would just kind of deterministically report its findings. And you'd probably need a human to go through and add this verbiage that gives it the context it needs. And so this is actually pulled from our Google Cloud organization, and so this is actually real for our organization. And you can see like the ones that we don't have automated currently. My Word is being a little slow. There's another one. The organization conducts periodic risk assessments by running authenticated vulnerability scans on a weekly basis. These scans and risk-rank findings, you know, you kind of get the idea. And that's for the risk assessment one. So that's the SSP that it generates, and this would be 3/4 of the way done if you were to allow it to fully automate. But you may have, you know, things where you don't want to give it API access or things, especially in more sensitive cases. And so you can just automate the like pick and choose which connectors you set up for this paperwork. So yep, that's that. And then here's PO A&M. And so this just gives you kind of like a, it tells you how many SPRS points you could gain from fixing something, require multi-factor authentication, for example. That's a classic one. And you can kind of like share this with your team and assign different ones of these to your team so you can meet that 88-point conditional pass threshold. So yeah, this Excel sheet is just kind of for tracking, improving your security posture score. And I believe that is everything in the demo. And so yeah, thank you for watching and have a good one.